Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Do, 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 do. I like greasy as hell. That's crazy, bro. Damn, that looks bad. In this town of Halloween. Move this out the way. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome as I trudge my way across the land. Game Freak back, I'm about to make a stand. Time to do some building in place. Game Freak style, I'm the man of the trace. I don't know why. Now I have This Is Halloween in my head, and it's fucking February! Why do I have it in my brain in February? God damn it! God damn it! I don't even know if I have any viewers. Do I? I have one viewer, but that's actually I just realized it's probably just me. It's all good. Anywho, I'm gonna just start doing what I'm gonna do, and then as people show up, I'll explain myself. I would explain myself now, but no one would believe me. I probably should do this on the floor. I'm not going to. I probably should. Everybody scream in this town of Halloween. I hope the washer isn't too loud, or the dryer isn't too loud. I don't know why I said washer. Let's see. This actually shouldn't take me that long anyway. So we'll see what happens in this town of Halloween. Alright. Well, that wasn't a good noise. God damn it! Ugh. It's weird watching myself in 4K while also building things in 8K. But it's okay. It's okay. It's alright. I'm in paradise. I'm so cool. Oh, I hate that it doesn't show me the chat on the screen like I thought it would. Man, I'm feeling depressing. Give me the chat. Okay. Who was that typing? Oh, what's up, Kuro? How are you, sir? We're trying to be productive today. As more people show up, okay, there we go. You're watching myself, yeah. So essentially, the TV is behind me because I have to stand at this distance and I can't read the screen on my phone. So I'm recording on my phone, but the chat is on the television. So the fact that I can see the chat is helpful, and I can read it very clearly. I actually should do this for all future streams. Let me know if the noise level's okay. I know that there is. My dryer is right here, and it's drying my clothes. So hopefully, it's not too loud. I don't think it's going to be, but you know, just putting it in context. So, in case you're wondering what I'm doing, essentially, my sister lives in an apartment with my nephew or her son, which is fine. That's not really my issue. But she lives on like the second floor, and I personally, because I'm a guy, get called a lot to help move shit up and down. Needs more cowbell. Well played. But I end up getting called a lot to help move things up and downstairs. And if you ever moved anything heavy up and downstairs, you know in your heart of hearts, you don't actually want to move things up and downstairs. The shit sucks. It's heavy, it's painful, and it's just not a pleasant experience for you or for anyone else. So with that being acknowledged, I don't want to do that shit. So, because no one else wanted to buy, and after having to move a dryer last weekend, I'm not doing that shit again. So, because I don't want to do that shit again, I'm going to simply, I bought a dolly. You can actually see the wheels here. It's a dolly that is designed specifically for going upstairs. So we're not doing this shit, okay? So we're gonna build this dolly that's gonna be used for all future events because from my understanding, my sister isn't moving anytime soon. And that's fine. Also cool, this one actually comes with cords to wrap whatever you're putting on the dolly to like lock it in place on the actual dolly. It's great. I appreciate that a lot actually. I don't think this should take me that long because it's just a fucking cart, but you know. And I did spring for the one that takes heavier weight because I'm not playing these games. Yeah, if it's on the ground, it takes about 650 pounds. If it's going upstairs, it can take like 330, which is fine. So, give me the assembly. Place frame A. Insert tray D. Then place 2 in. Oh wow, this is not as straightforward as I would have hoped it is. I mean, it's still mostly straightforward, but I don't like it. I wanted something better, damn it. Yeah, this shouldn't take long at all, apparently. It's literally just this one page of fucking instructions, so I would assume this should take less than like 10 minutes. I obviously have to screw things in. I don't know why it's being weird about it. It just wrote down the instructions, so let's just get on with it, as it were. It's so good. It's so sweet. It's your boy getting game free. I'm so hood. I'm so clean. My life is feeling so pristine. Hopefully everyone's having a good day today. Ooh. I cooked dinner and ate dinner already. But after this, I'm probably going to take a shower and then take my happy ass to sleep. What's up, win? All I do is win, 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 no matter what. My money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go, oh, he's going to fall me. Oh no. Gravity don't do it. I wonder what the hook is for. I don't know. I don't want to know. Yeah, this isn't really that complicated. I'm just being, what's the word, whiny about it? Yeah, I mean whiny about it. Okay, so. According to the instructions I just buried. Yeah, the weather's better. I had like a pretty bad cold, not a bad cold, but I had a cold that is mostly gone. That was messing me up last week, which is why I didn't stream much last week. So place frame A into insert tray D. So it means it goes, I have to take this, and I believe, I don't know if it matters which one. I'm going to say it doesn't, but I'm going to see anyway. Let's see. Is it? Oh, these come off anyway. Yeah, these come off. I'm going to assume it's the top half because it doesn't. Well, no, because these have the flat things on the bottom. Hey, Donnie. Well, no, but the text is this way. I could just assume it's this. That's what I want to do. I want to assume it's just this. Ugh. Get in there. It said just to slide it in. Did it lie to me? Maybe it lied to me, actually. Or maybe that's just not the right way to do it. We're already on the first step and we're struggling. Place frame A and then insert. Ooh, what is that? This is a weird way of showing it. I get what they're doing, I just don't like the way it looks. Alright. In my mind, I want to say this is the bottom. I really do. I could have just took a picture of it and looked. Yeah, I want to say this is the bottom. It just seems like a weird bottom because of this being upside down. But these have this enclosed hook. See, yeah, the text is upside down. That's what's messing me up. That's what makes me think that that's not the right way to do it. But no, it has to be. I'm actually looking at the picture. The picture base. No. No, you guys are right. It is upside down. Yeah, it is upside down. See, it slides on easy that way, but maybe it's not supposed to. That's the fucking point. Ooh. Remember, kids, I don't care what masculinity teaches you. Read the fucking instructions. It does not hurt you to read the instructions. It may hurt your masculinity, but it doesn't actually hurt to read the instructions. Let's see. Ooh. This is gonna be a tight fit. There we go. That's what's supposed to happen. I am concerned that this is not the right orientation, though. Like, does it go frontwards or backwards? It doesn't matter. Finally building that George Foreman grill. Fuck you, studio. Fuck you. So wait, is the text supposed to be on the front or the back of the card? I guess is my question. I have the orientation right. I just don't know if it's supposed to go frontwards or backwards. Part of me thinks it's supposed to go backwards, though. Like the other way. Part of me thinks that anyway. I could be wrong. Is the admin symbol of a shield now instead of a wrench? Because now I'm seeing Donnie is as such. Yeah, I guess admin is a shield. Twitter removed the dim color background today, so nothing surprised me anymore. Yeah. The picture of the problem is in black and white, which kind of pisses me off. And I can't check my phone, so it's a dolly, is what I'm building. I'm gonna put the thing. I think honestly it's supposed to go on the front, so I'm gonna go off of the premise that you guys should be able to see the logo. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter too much, but let's just go with this because I think this is the way it's supposed to be. But it's a dolly that allows you to go upstairs. It's the main premise here. So first we do that. Second thing is we place the wheel frame B on the outside of the frame as shown as feature, and then finally fix in the outer hexagon bolt L and N. So if I'm doing this right, then it should be like this. The wing should be this, which I guess makes sense. I would assume the logo is pushed out to the front like this. So that's what I'm going with. And then the wing is supposed to fly out in the manner I would assume is this. Although this is not tight at all. I guess that's what the lug nuts are for, but still, I'm not happy about it. So L and N. I do not think those are it. Yeah, it's gotta be these. You know, the bags, see, on a better product, well, yeah, that's because you're looking at it through a screen, that's why. The screen flips it backwards, so the perception's a little bit different. But the fact but my point is that like you should be able to see it when you're rolling it versus when you're not rolling it. Vevor, Yeah, it's Vevor. I'll put that right here. It's going to be backwards for you, but that's the general. That is the brand in question. Alright, so. It says L and N. I kind of hate that this shit is backwards, though. Then finally fix it with the outer hexagon bolt. So. So the hexagon bolt would have to be. Hey, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate it. When you're rolling it, the logo is going to be carried by wherever you're carrying or covered. Oh my god, I knew that was you, P. That's crazy, not the P. Diddy. So what this should, if we're talking about screws, what this should be, the screws it should be, since it's supposed to be 4 in total, what I assume to be, I feel like those aren't the right screws though. They're definitely not these though, because these aren't the right ones. These are like, so that means they have to be these. So, which looks a little different than what I expected them to look like. Yeah, but these are the only 2 bolts, so it's gotta be this one. So what, Studio, you think the logo should be on the back then? I don't think it makes that much of a difference. But I assume the logo need to stand out like this. Like I said, I can't check because my phone is being used to stream, guys. That's the big issue here. But you don't think the logo is supposed to stick out like that? That would be my assumption. How many of you guys own dollies? That's the first thing I would have asked. Who owns a dolly? Help! The fuck? And these are both situated the same. The one I don't like about it, I looked it up on Google. You got it the right way. Okay, cool. Appreciate it, sir. See? This is why you stream, ladies and gentlemen. The community will lead the way to victory. Or victorine for my Zatch Bell fans. Alright. So next up are these 4 bolts that are supposed to screw in 2 on each side, which will then. Wait, I got to share. Why the fuck did you buy a dolly? Oh, because my it's really for family reasons. One, I do have stairs in the front of my house. So, because I have stairs for my house, this is like one for stairs. Hence why the wheels in question are 3 wheels instead of just like 1. They're 3 wheels. It's meant for stairs specifically. On top of that, my sister lives on the 2nd floor of an apartment building and constantly needs you to help with shit. So needless to say, at this point, I've just expected if I buy the dolly will benefit not only me, but the family. And I won't have to deal with stupid situations, theoretically, anymore. But you know, life is a highway. I don't want to die. God damn it. Alright. So, the way this should go is me not dropping shit on the ground. I should have just had one in my hand. That's what I should have did. It's always a hindsight in this world. So the wings are supposed to be going out like this. So that is not the right way. That does not seem right. It's supposed to be like it's going upward, so but that's not right. It'd be like it should be like that. Oh, so that means I'm on the wrong side then. Isn't that right? God. love it here. There we go. Get in there, you coward. Get in there. Get in there. That doesn't seem right. So it should be by here then. Yeah, there we go. Jesus Christ. The dolly helps him steal. My mama wouldn't assume that. Why would you guys? You guys think less of me? Also, I mean, technically, it would help you still. Imagine being a thief who's like way too, not self-conscious, but like, that doesn't seem tight at all. I mean, I do have this, but still. One of my least favorite things to do. Screw shit in. Especially when it's quote unquote too fucking small. Yeah, there we go. I love it here. Just let me screw everything in. This actually might be the worst part, y'all. Like, I'm not even joking. This is gonna be the worst part. And see, the kicker is I have a drill. If I went and found the bolt, I probably could find the nut that actually fits that size, because this goofy shit, does it work? Absolutely. Do I still hate it? Absolutely. Was this 13 and 10? I might go get that actually. One of the things about being a homeowner that I've learned is that becoming a pseudo handyman has very consistent benefits. Problem is if you're lazy, it still sucks. I might actually go get the bit because I don't want to do this. Doing it with the damn hand screw sucks. I don't want to do it that way. I just realized you can't see it right now anyway, but it's okay. It's not going to stay up, is it? Oh, no, that's enough. I need a 13. Give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. I got me a ratchet. Hashtag no claim, baby. Made this a little bit easier for myself. We're getting there. We're getting there. Come on. It's at 13. making ProRes. Hold on. Come on. Come on. This is why you turn into Luke YouTube Live. See a bunch of. It still feels kind of loose. That's my biggest problem. I wonder if I was supposed to put 12 on here. No, maybe not. Hold on. Come on. Come on. This is the most uninteresting part of doing fucking this type of work. But one might say it wasn't about the work. You need to get that Yamato statue up the stairs. Shut up, bro. I ain't getting no Yamato statue. Well, actually, I don't own a Yamato figure. I do need to buy one probably at some point, though. I will say that. I'm probably overdue to buy one. Come on. Come on, believe in yourself. Yeah. There we go. Making that ProRes. Making that ProRes. You know, I hope these streams teach one or two things. Either that hard work can get you everything you ever wanted, or if you don't want to do this shit, pay somebody who'll do it for you. But you gotta do one. You either gotta make enough money to where you ain't never gonna do this shit yourself again, or you gotta make enough money to where you can always pay someone to do it. Because if you can't pay no one to do it, we're just gonna have to figure it out. Okay, the first wing is on. It's time for the second wing. Wing teams. Look here, listen. I know that man is so tired of that fucking phrase. And unfortunately for him, it's so much fun to me, though. So when a phrase is fun to me, I ain't gotta stop. Where the hell's the hole at? Oh, there it is. Get in there. Get in there. They just don't want to fit. They just don't fit like they used to. Oh, bitch. Get in there. Get in there, you coward. I just gotta screw that in here and you're a goddamn Timmy, I told you to put on the hat. Oh, Timmy. That's so bad, actually. What the fuck is wrong with me, bro? You just have a dark sense of humor, that's all. So I'm going to hell? Absolutely. But it's okay, they'll love you in hell. I love you now, and you're not even in hell yet. Hashtag Woody Allen. Oh no. That's not gonna screw in. Oh no. Get in there. I'm like smacking these water bottles around. And it's all because the shit doesn't easily fit in the fucking hole. But it's not one of those ones that can just push in there. I guess for now, what I'll focus on is getting the first one screwed in, and then we'll worry about the other one. And, you know, not getting tape on the goddamn thing. This is where a slow crash out begins. What's wrong? Are you okay? I'm not. Why? Because the shit just won't go in. Believe in yourself, goddammit. Believe. Okay, that's good. This other bolt won't go all the way in though. And I hate that shit. I hate it here. This other bolt is like not in and it's pissing me off. It's like the hole is slightly too small. And that shit really gets on my nerves. Because why the fuck would you make a hole that's like an inch off, bro? I want to get a hammer, bro. Okay, it's all good. It's not all good, man. I'm about to get a hammer and say, fuck it. That's what I'm about to do. And I don't want to be the caveman of the situation, right? I don't want to be the guy who fucking just bangs it in with a hammer. But the reason why I have to do that is because of how this thing is situated, man. All the other ones went through the fucking hole, no problem. But because it won't go through the hole, I can't just... And not enough of it is past the guide to where I can start screwing in. If it was, then I could just start screwing in. And life would be okay. It'd be okie dokie. Some might even say fantastic. But it's not. Oh no, David. I might have it. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. We might be able to save the world yet. It's going to take a lot of elbow greasing. No. Immediately, bro. Immediately. Where'd that screw even go, bro? Yeah. The crash out was imminent from the onset, ladies and gentlemen. I wasn't meant to win. I was meant to crash out and lose it all. And then at the end of my crash out, I would go, well, that's just how the cookie crumbles. If it's right to fix a girl without needing an instruction booklet, he can do this shit without it. First off, I can't fix a girl. I don't know why you think I can fix a girl, bro. I cannot fix a girl. Alright. To give context, what's actually the problem here is I have to screw in this section of the part where you can see the two screws and bolts. But the bolt over there on the bottom right on my side isn't up enough for me to actually get the screw going. Now, it didn't say anything about me having to screw it into the hole because, you know, it's a fucking hole. But of course, who's that person who said that like Jesus will throw many trials at you or some bullshit like that? That's exactly what this shit feels like. It's a fucking trial. Yeah, ain't no way. I think I'm gonna need to get the hammer, ladies and gentlemen. The good news is I don't need to hammer it like all the way. That's enough for me to get a groove started. And then I can use the ratchet for the rest of the way. Fuck me. And luckily for the handyman that I am, I have a hammer and a lack of patience. And when those two things mix, is that enough? That's enough. I just need enough to get the groove started. Now some of you would say, Terrell, you shouldn't do that. This is bad. This is dangerous. And the answer is you're probably correct. It is. But it's too late. I already started. Oh my goodness. And all this just to get it in a goddamn hole. Because it just didn't want to go on its own. It was very scared, okay? It was working out its confidence issues, okay? Just like I work out my patience issues every time I deal with this shit. Don't worry. The hammering I done is all that I need. There we go. There we go. Believe in yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Believe in yourself. Don't give up. Lock the fuck in. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Alright. Woo! So the base of the dolly has been completed. But this bitch isn't going to stand on its... Okay, I lied. I thought it wasn't going to stand on its own. It stood on its own, ladies and gentlemen. It's a big boy. Look, he has his wings now. He can fly away like an eagle. If anyone has questions while I'm doing this, you can ask them. I'm still looking at the chat. I'm a big kid now. You have to push that thing at my old job. Yeah, the trauma will do it to you. Okay, so next is insert axle E into the wheel frame. Insert the cotter pin K inside the wheel frame. Bend it and then put the spacer ring I outside. Okay, so first we need is the axle, which is G, which is kind of annoying that this thing is labeled considering these things aren't labeled other than that. Oh, here it is. This is some bullshit. Don't worry about it. I know that too. So, it should go in here. There we go. First we insert the fucking thing. Then you do insert the cotter pin K. What is that? Not that. The cotter pin? It looks like never again, Richie. It's trauma. Insert the cotter pin inside the wheel frame. bend it, and put the spacer ring outside. Okay. There's two holes, but I'm guessing it doesn't matter which one. So wait, these are the wheels. But I need a cotter pin, whatever the hell that is. It's not these. These are for later. This definitely isn't it. I'm trying to separate what I have, and then so it's gotta be in here. Oh, I see it. It's these. Oh shit. But there's two pins, and the way this thing is situated, both of the holes won't be inside. Like it's a very tight thing. Richie said he's too good for that. He's on some next level shit. Let my man be great, bro. Let my man be great. So it's one of these. It's a very tiny pin. So insert, and then insert the spacer ring outside, which is I. But there's two spacer rings. Do I only do one? Oh, I see. Okay, I see. So that's what we do. First, we take a pin, you stick it in here, and then you bend it, which I believe you bend one side. Like that. And then you put a spacer ring on the outside, correct? And the spacer ring goes out here. And this is just, I guess, to stop it from this thing going out, like. Yeah, I see. Okay, I got it, y'all. And then I put the spacer ring outside. And then I install the wheel set, and then I put a cotter pin in front of it, and then I bend it. Okay, cool. So let's install the wheel set, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't really seem like it's that complicated in the grand scheme of things, and it probably isn't. I've never done it before. Cut me a break. I also have a knife here to cut the fucking tape, and I just didn't want to use it. I wanted to be Miss Independent. And they just wouldn't let me. So, get back in there. Remember, kids, try not to cut yourselves. It's fucking hard, though. So I believe the spacer ring is right here. Get in there. And then I take another cotter pin and I put it. Where is the pin at? It's kind of crazy this thing is only held by this. Get in there. Yeah. Oh wow, this is actually harder. It's harder because the wheel is so fucking close. Oh, that's how you do the thing. Oh, get in there. Get in there. Yeah. That's actually hard to do because of how this thing is handled. Can I? Yeah, that's not gonna cut it. Ooh. It's kind of hard to bend from this thing. That's crazy to say I'm pumping the iron with these Crocs. Orion, where were you yesterday, man? You missed the stream, bro. You missed the content. This actually is annoying because of how this is situated. You can't just... Ladies and gentlemen, I've learned nothing from my past mistakes. Congratulations. I'm a fucking idiot. Jesus Christ. Ow. Oh, that hurts, bro. That is genuinely a pain in the ass to do. And I hate it. I hate it a lot, actually. There's gotta be a better way to do this, because putting these pins in and then bending them backwards, although it seems like it'd be easy, it's actually not. I wonder if it's easier if I did it this way. Wow, that is actually painful. That might work. That might work. Ow, because I hated all of that. Jesus Christ. Alright. That's not going anywhere. And that was my big concern. I don't know why this cotter pin was way harder to do than the other one. Jesus fucking Christ. Where did that spacer bar go to? Because that definitely flew off somewhere. This is not good, ladies and gentlemen. Oh. What? How did you get behind me? You devil woman. You ingrate. You villain. Alright. There we go. So now I need another cotter pin. Fun fact, did not know these things were called cotter pins, but hey, you learn something new every day. Yeah, that one. This one's easier. What the fuck? This shit is not consistent. That one was way easier to bend than the other one. Alright, we're almost there, ladies and gentlemen. I need my knife again, though. I got the knife. The knife, not the knife. Can you actually, is that against it's not TSA, what is it? Oh, I cut myself. When the hell did I do that? Jesus Christ. When you cut yourself and don't realize it, the fuck happened? I was like, why does the side of my finger hurt? Oh, it's slightly cut. It's not like a deep cut, but it's cut. And I'm just like, when did I cut myself? What the fuck? And then you realize it was all a conspiracy created by the government. They just want your money. Now I'm thinking of that fucking Luffy Usopp fight where they argue and they're like, they don't care about your ship, they just want your money. Don't give up on the Mary! It's like $100 is what this was. It was like $91, I think, but it was also on sale when I got it, so I think normally it's over 100. It depends on it depends on the weight though that you're trying to carry. Yeah. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, one more cotter pin. One more cotter pin. Where the hell's the... Oh no, that's the harder one. Give me the easier cotter pin. Even though they both should function the same, but I can tell that one's worse. Yeah, this one's easier to deal with. Where's the hole at? There it is. Yeah. Alright. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, we have the dolly. But not all the way though, because we still have to put the handle on. But I still like this. I like this a lot. It makes me feel strong. And look, guys, I'm walking the dog. This is where I'm going to pick up your hose on. It takes up to 30 pounds upstairs. So I can take your hoe anywhere. I can take 2 hoes with this shit. Woo-wee! I haven't even picked up a big bag, bitch. Let's get it. Alright, let's stop. I'm doing too much. I'm doing too much, George. Alright. Put in the handle F. And the handle 1. And then the trim strip. Then align them with the holes and fix them with the crosshead bolts. So F is the small one, which I believe is this one. Yeah. So this is the small one. Right? Hold on, ladies and gentlemen, let's see. Then E, and then H. So E and then H. So E will be this long, big back motherfucker that has plastic inside the hole for some weird ass reason. Oh, that's what I was supposed to do. Nope, I lied. Yeah. This actually still doesn't seem like a good idea. Imagine if you were lifting something as big on it and it comes apart. Well, then I would crash out and I would ask you not to bring that up again. And I think it's this. And then the trim strip comes after this. which I believe is this. Oh, this is going to be a pain in the ass. Yeah, this is going to be a pain in the ass. But I got this and I can believe in myself, damn it. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's believe in ourselves. This is shit you shouldn't be doing on a weekday. And then one of you would ask me the famous question, so Terrell, why are you doing it on the weekday? Well, young viewer, it's simple. Because I am an idiot. What? I'm stupid. Mentally disabled, as they might say. I don't learn from my mistakes. I am doomed to repeat them over and over again. And by the time I do learn from my mistakes, it is indeed too late. Damage has been done. Pain has been caused. Lives have surely been lost. But unfortunately for me, my suffering is yet to cease. Oh my God, get in there, bro. This is me making a dolly for stairs. Hi, I'm your boy, the Insane Game Freak, also known as Schizomanic on this channel, where I stream me doing random shit because I can't be trusted. But it's okay. Oh no, this is gonna fall, isn't it? Come on. I need gravity to kick in. Come on, gravity. Gravity, don't be a bitch. I need this. I need this shit. It means something to me. I just need it one time. Just one goddamn time, please. Oh, what? Get in there. Yeah. We're making ProRes. Let's get it. Oh, is that the right one? Yeah. Stand up straight. Is this what happens when you ask for some stability in your life, bro? I just asked for a little bit of stability, and nobody wants to give me shit. We're pretty much done at this point. The only thing that's left to do is just to tighten the screws up, and then unfortunately I don't have anything I'm currently moving, but you know, having the dolly already built to be go is the important part. Let's see. I think we have don't we have a state of play tomorrow, I believe? Are people excited about that? Wait, was I supposed to put those washers on? Well, that's a little concerning. When are those washers supposed to go on? They don't even mention the washer. They gave me washers, but didn't actually tell me to put them on during this whole fucking thing. Am I tripping? Hold on. The only reason I bring it up because it's the only thing I haven't used, and I'm a little concerned where they're supposed to fucking go. Let's see, A, D, B, B L and N E K I. I don't see them. J K. Oh. What? Oh, I see what I was supposed to do. Fucker, why did they do that? It's not in the written instructions, it's in the picture. They're supposed to go in front of the wheel. But let's get the handle one first before we worry about any of that. The wheel thing isn't the worst thing in the world. It's a slight inconvenience, but not the worst thing. Where is my Ratchet and Clank? Ratchet and Clank, get over here. We need a new game from you, please. Sony owes us some quality for what? There you are. Why does this not be the right size? Oh, I might need to use the thing for this. They gave me the other tool. This being the one I really hate using, by the way. I've had to use it to build many fucking, like, tables and dressers and shit. And it's never fucking fun. It's never fucking fun. I think this is what they want me to use. Oh, this is gonna be way harder. It's not. The problem here is that there's nothing stopping it. Yeah, there's no resistance. So I can turn this as much as I want. But if there's no resistance, it doesn't make a difference. Yeah, there's no resistance. Fuck. Fuck! I put it on right. You're not in my closet, man. I'm afraid of the dark anyway. Fuck you. I have crippling depression. And I'm terrified of cookie monsters. I wonder if I do this. Which, granted, is not my preferred method of dealing with this shit, but this might be what we have to do. What the hell was that? Yeah, that's what I gotta do. I gotta combine them both. Because if you don't do this, then it doesn't tighten. Yeah, same thing. Fuck you, gravity. My mom was an apple that fell from the sky, hit Isaac Newton on the head, and I'm so sick of this shit. No. I hate it, bro. I hate it. Yeah, let's do that actually. That works. Ooh. Ooh. Come on. Push it to the limit. This is actually annoying as shit. Yeah, there we go. I gotta close in the gap, ladies and gentlemen. In and there. Ooh, shit. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Fuck! I just want to be successful. Come on. It's mainly hard because of how tiny of a range of movement you have. It's not. Oh, that might be it. Ooh, there we go. No. Yeah. Okay. I think we got it, ladies and gentlemen. There is one thing I still have to do, though. I still have to go and take the pins off real quick to put the washers in. Unfortunately, I don't have any stairs in front of me to test this, right? You would need stairs to test the validity of a stair climbing dolly. Where is it? Sorry. I get a little amped up. Besides, we still have to do one other thing. Oh, my nose, bro. My nose. Alright, so last thing is we have to put on washers. We gotta put on the golden rings of accomplishment, which means I have to temporarily take the wheel off in order to get these bitches on. It's okay. Oh no, this is way heavier than it was before. Almost like I have to lift something to get this shit off. Let's do this first. Put that on. Get in there. And now we're good. The washer is there to protect. And hopefully that'll be enough. Although, I mean, they put it on the instructions, so I assume this thing is built to last within reason. And if it isn't, well, then I only spent $100. It wasn't too much money. Did I fart on this couch before? It's leather. I feel like this couch has farted on itself before. And I had no control over whether or not the fart was true or false. And that's the issue with leather couches. I don't even like leather. Shit sucks. It's like probably one of the worst things to sit on in the summer. And because I live in Georgia, summer is pretty frequent. With that being said, we have accomplished what we've set out to do. We have made a functioning dolly. I'm going to put all this up. I got to clean up all this trash, actually. Yeah, I got to clean up all this trash. But this dolly is now fully functioning in the way that it was designed to be functional. I might put a little bit too much aggression on that. I apologize. It's okay. Success is full of bad decisions. Is that actually like a quote? Someone in the back's like, is that a bar? Yo, bro, is that a bar? Bro, that might be a bar, bro. Someone's in the back like, it's not, bruh. It was just a really shitty pun. Come on, bruh, give me the goddamn props. I did the best that I could. And for some people, that was enough. Alright. We have accomplished our goal. And the dryer's done. I'm pretty sure y'all heard that. The dryer is finito. Ooh, shit. Even though it's probably like 10 something right now, probably should go put the dryer, go get this trash in the dryer. The question is, do I want to though? It's about an hour. Yeah, barely an hour. It's the small things, baby. I told you, we're trying to make progress. The dryer was waiting for you to be done. Nothing in your place can let you rest. Never. Never. When you live as an adult, everything is something you have to do. Everything is a motherfucking obligation. And you will rise to the occasion no matter what you say or do. It is a part of your design. It is part of your culture. It is a part of your destiny. And god damn it, you will rise. I wasted water on my floor. Luckily, this isn't carpet, so. Water's water. Long story short, you will rise to the occasion because it is your duty to do so. Alright. So, remember kids, because you're the one who lives in your place and you're the only one that's here, you have to take care of it, which unfortunately means you also have to clean up when you make messes. Luckily, we didn't really make much of a mess, but it is something to acknowledge. So we are going to take this. Oh shit. We are going to put that in the garbage because I do have to take that out for Friday, but that's a whole other thing. But first things first, let's get the clothes out of the dryer. The clothes are hot. Those are hot. Hot ass clothes on the deck. I'm not gonna put that on camera. I'm gonna use this small towel though to wipe up the agua that I put on the floor. And don't worry, it's a dish towel, so it was gonna get wet pretty soon anyway. Oh. Put that up. I'm feeling pretty accomplished, baby. I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. Let me stop. I still got all this shit on the fucking floor. Maybe I'll use my new dolly. Take this fucking box out. Use my dolly. Take these boxes out. Acting like these boxes are heavy. Just an excuse to use the dumbass dolly. Yeah. Yeah, just stack up my trash on my dolly. And I take these bungee cords to keep this shit secure. But I actually don't want to take these out right now, so I'm not going to do that right now. But it is something I could do because I don't want to use the cords yet. The cords, I think, will be used when I'm actually moving real furniture. I still got to put up a couple other things, like the knife that cut me in a matter of seconds, and then my ratchet, and the hammer of justice. They all have to go back to where they came. Because if they don't go back from whence they came, how can I call myself a man? Ooh, shit. Alright. The only thing we have left is some extra parts, some screws, and some papers that we will hold on to for special occasions. Now, I guess I need to get this out of my house. So, come with me, and you'll see that it's a world of pure imagination. I hope people are still like letting their kids watch Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and not the remake. The Johnny Depp remake, I heard is closer to the books, but I give a fuck about quality. So, fun fact: my backyard. It's probably not. Is it cold out here? Yeah, it's kind of cold. It's not cold, cold. It's not like J cold. That's wild. But I guess we'll try these. Actually, I have stairs now I think about it. I have some stairs I could try it on. Unfortunately, I don't think I can. Well, actually, no, let's see something. Let's try. Watch this box not fall back like it's supposed to. Okay, let's try it. Let's see. In theory, the way this should work is... Ooh, that works pretty well, actually. The box is not all the way over, but it's okay. It kind of works. Oh God, hold on. I'll be back. I gotta take this outside. Yeah. If you're curious what happened, it's supposed to be able to carry 330 pounds if you're going upstairs. And it's supposed to carry, what is it? 650 if it's just rolling on flat ground. By the way, the moment I went down the stairs, everything fell on the ground. So the dream is dead. It's actually not. It's just, if I had strapped it down, it would have been fine. But I didn't do that because, well, it's just a fucking box. Maybe I should unlock my sunroom door, though. Damn, how did it get colder? And I don't even have, like, glass windows. It's like it is what it is, bro. It's too late for me to be doing this shit. That's my floodlight. Even though we don't have floods here. Remember, kids, always have a floodlight. Even when you don't need one. Spoiler alert, I don't really need one. But I still want one. It's the joy of being outside at night, Donnie. It's more like darkness is. Ooh. I gotta step on this box so that it folds in the trash can. There we go. All right. Ooh. Also, Juice had a boomer. The stream, it was still live after the stream was done. Yeah, I saw that. I saw you talking about the Juice's Loop stream. Yeah, I saw that. Ow. Hell, stabbed me. Hold on. Can I do that real quick? Now I'm afraid this thing is gonna fall over. Hold on. I just need to get this into the thing. There we go. There we go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Whew. We're gonna leave the dolly out here actually, because the dolly being inside is a little bit too big for its own good. Plus, if I'm gonna need it, it'll be for some things out here anyway. So the dolly will be here in its triumph, okay? Oh God, thank you guys for the 10 viewers, by the way. I know this is a little bit more distracting / off the cuff because I'm wait, did I lock that other door? Did I lock that other door? Hold on. I don't think I did. Did I? No, I did. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure. All right, cool. Like I said, it's cool tonight, but it's not nearly as cold as it has been. So as a result, it's enough of a warmness that allows me to be myself and enjoy my peace and live the life that I was destined to live. I might do my walking and talking streams now. We've only been on for like an hour and a half, and I owe you guys probably another 30 minutes anyway. So, door's locked. I gotta put a new battery in my fucking Chrome cast remote. So I went and bought Duracells, and some of you guys would go, Duracells are expensive as shit, bruh. You got that kind of money? And the reality of that answer is technically yes, but I didn't need to spend it. But I do, because I like to pay for quality, at least kind of consistently. Because not paying for quality becomes a bad habit. People don't realize sometimes investment has a purpose, even if people don't like to acknowledge it does. There we go. Get in there. I'm just putting new batteries in my Chrome cast remote. The old ones do last a while though. Like the ones Google give you. Ooh. Damn, I feel like that took a hard minute. Alright. And now I gotta move my clothes into a different room. Oh God. And then I'm gonna give you guys some walking, talking nonsense for the next 30 minutes where we just kind of shoot the shit. And I can wander and talk because the TV's on and I can see the chat in 4K HD. And I cut on my Chromecast in here like a dickhead. But it's okay. It's all right. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling okay. We can discuss some things. All right. So, let's talk for a little bit. Well, I have an OLED TV. That's why I say that. What was that? Someone must have just went live on Twitch. All right. Hold on. All right, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed your boy, the Insane Game Freak, back at it again with more content to entertain the masses. So I think we have a state of play, and it's probably something that's needed. I think it's 60 minutes, and the reason why this is important is because it's coming down to the wire for Sony. There's been a lot of PlayStation 6 talk. There's been a lot of hybrid system and fucking RAM prices and shortages going on. So this is supposed to be like a make it or break it. This is supposed to be a make it or break it type of state of play. I don't really know how the Sony fan base feels about PlayStation because I'm primarily a Nintendo fan and I don't really surround myself by Sony specific gamers. Even the other gamers like Juice and them are probably, well, I think Juice would probably be considered more Sony than anybody else on that, and the Juice is loose. With everyone else either being like Nintendo first, Nintendo only, or like PC/Xbox. My question is more so, what are the first party offerings going to be? Because all we know about, if I remember correctly, of note is Wolverine. But Wolverine has already been designated as a fall 2026 title. Like, it's going to come in the latter half of the year, probably either October, November, December, around there. Maybe September. The point is, that's not really carrying you through March, April, May, June, July, August. So the question then becomes, well, what's the major game? Is that game from Naughty Dog going to pop back up again? You know, the game that had a really terrible showing, but supposedly has been being worked on for 8 years. Is that going to show back up? And if it is going to show back up, to what capacity? Are we just going to get another teaser? We're going to get like full gameplay? Are we going to actually get a release date? Are we going to hear? I don't think we're going to hear anything about PlayStation 6. They'll drop Elder Scrolls 6. I don't believe that. That's the other thing. I think this is the year that like PlayStation is getting a lot of Xbox specific stuff like Halo, Fable, and that all hinges on how well that comes out and performs, which, you know, Richie has been excited for Rayman. Yeah, that Rayman collection, which might get announced tomorrow. I can see that. Hope they let us download PS3 games and re-download our old games and not stream them. I don't see that happening because of how different the PS3 architecture is. I don't see them doing that. Like, I just hate to acknowledge that. Yeah, Fable 4 is a thing. We're in a very interesting position because the question now becomes like, are we just going to rely on third party? And I really hope this isn't a case of what's happened to other companies by doing their like little partner or directs back to back. So what I mean by that is I hope we don't get a lot of redundancy from like Nintendo's thing. Now realistically we shouldn't, because PlayStation and Xbox have notoriously been always known to get more third party than Nintendo. But if I see like Resident Evil again with no new anything, we're gonna have a problem, right? If I see Pragmata again, we're gonna have a problem because we already have a trailer for that game. We have a demo out for that game. I shouldn't see Pragmata here, right? I really shouldn't see anything from Square Enix unless it's maybe Final Fantasy VII Part 3. And now, do I personally care about Final Fantasy VII Part 3? Absolutely fucking not. But if you're going to show anything from Square, that would be the only thing you could show that hasn't already been shown. Unless you're going to come out with like an Ultimate Edition for Rebirth. Imagine if you could play the PS3 instead of the PS3 of Final Fantasy 13. To be fair, Typeset, a lot of the PlayStation 3 versions of games, especially depending on what era, like if we're talking early PlayStation or late PlayStation 3, run like ass anyway. Like, it was openly acknowledged that the Xbox 360 have the better running versions of those games. Now the PS3 could look better, but that didn't mean anything if your frame rate was to shit or your frame pacing was ass. Like none of that really mattered. Also, I'll give you guys a little bit of tidbit for the next mainline YouTube video because I haven't really talked about it. Side note, thank you for the support on the Harem video. That did better than I expected it to do. So the next video will be a Nostalgia Rush because I've had a bunch of people ask me over the years for a new Nostalgia Rush. So it will be a Nostalgia Rush. I'm going to try to do something different. We're going to see if copyright wants to fuck with me because American copyright is a lot more dangerous than Japanese copyright. But we'll see. So just keep that in mind. Next mainline video on the main channel will be a Nostalgia Rush. There's also rumors that we're getting a traditional Nintendo Direct next week, which not saying I wouldn't be happy about because I will say the Nintendo Direct we got last week was pretty mid. There wasn't really anything crazy to get excited about. They didn't even talk about games. I mean, it was for third party, but we didn't even get any crazy third party surprises. It was just kind of like middle of the road. Like, yeah, are we getting Fallout? Cool. Are we getting, what was it? Oblivion? Cool. But it wasn't anything that like I would rag home about. Now, if you had said maybe Starfield, I could have been like, all right, that's a decent enough Bethesda title to get someone excited, right? But like Fallout 4 doesn't do anything. Oblivion is okay because that remaster / remake is from what, last year, I think. So, but like the Nintendo Direct partnership Direct wasn't anything crazy. Now, is it a terrible situation? No. And that's the only reason why it's not, because we also got the numbers. I know Juice Loose already talked about it. About we're at 17 million for Switch. Switch 2 and how it's still the fastest selling console. Because at this point in time, we're not even a year in and this thing has sold almost 20 million units. It's almost outpaced the GameCube and we're not even a year into this bitch. We're like, what, 6 months? So it's a big deal. But not saying I still would have wanted more. As much as I hate to say, even though I don't think the Direct is trash and it's like hurt Nintendo entirely, having more content will never be a bad thing. Especially if you got all these anime fucking hentai games that are on your eShop still. You know, if I can get some more third-party exclusives or third-party games, be worse on that. I think I'm more surprised we got a third-party exclusive in the form of Orbitals. That one still shocks me. I haven't heard third-party exclusive in years, especially since, you know, Square lost a fuck ton of money trying to support only Sony and paid for it dearly. Yeah, I saw that, Donnie. I saw the Goemon games on the Japanese Direct. Do you also feel like the year of 2026 is starting off weird? Not chaotic per se, but more so numb and stale. Not playing it safe, but feeling as already exhausted year as if 6 months have passed. Not really. It depends on what aspect we're talking about. We're talking about in terms of games, and we're talking about in terms of life, the country. Like, it's different tiers, because if it's chaotic as fuck if we're talking off as the country, and I'm specifically meaning if you're like the U.S., we've been going through a lot. We were on some wild shit in January, and then the weather over here got really, really wild and crazy, depending if you lived in like the southeast side. Like, the eastern side of the U.S. just got their asses whooped. So, like, it depends on what aspect of like life you're referring to. What was I gonna say though? Shoot. Not 2026. I was referring to Nintendo specifically. Just in general, I suppose a comparison to the last 7-8 years. Not off the top of my head. I'll just say that, Kuro. Off the top of my head, no. But, you know, give me some time to think about it and I could probably relate to you in the long run. But no, as far as Nintendo is concerned, I'm not overly concerned because, Mario Tennis comes out tomorrow. We got Poketopia. We got, we have a fucking Pokemon. O thy kingdom, I shall summon the mercenary on thou resident. A mercenary. Is it the black? Is it the headless swordsman? No, headless horseman, or the Black Knight. The Black Knight is cool. I thought that was Sonic the Hedgehog. So correct me if I'm wrong. Actually, that's Night of the Wind, but that's not the point. I like the joke. But Nintendo, this year I'm not overly concerned about. Pokemon by itself will be enough of a reason to get people to spend money. Although I do want to do a Pokemon retrospective at some point. But that requires me playing games I don't want to play, or playing games in a series. And it actually was funny because I'm at the point where Poketopia sounds fun, just worth another $80 price and being Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive. I don't know if it's 80. I don't know why it's $80. That's crazy. Especially when I heard the game is somewhere between 20 to 30 hours of gameplay with a decent post game. It's not like I don't think it's worth $80, but no one's gonna look at it and go $80. Like, but it's Pokemon, so I'm not too surprised, unfortunately. You replay Gen 1, 3, maybe replay Gen 5. I think the generation I've replayed the least is probably Gen 2, actually. Because you're right, I did 1, 3, but I replayed 5 technically twice, actually. Wait, Donnie, how much is it? I thought it was, how much is it? Is it 70? It's probably 70. Or I would hope it's 60, but I think it's probably 70. Yeah, it's $70, I figured. Not in love with that. Gen 5 I've pseudo replayed. I've replayed Gen 5 within the last 10 years. And I've watched Polly play Gen 5 in the last 5 years, I want to say. Like, Gen 5 isn't so out of my mind. The generations I probably played the least of is probably Gen 2, Gen 6, Gen 7, and then I think, yeah, Gen 2, Gen 6, and Gen 7. Gen 2, I don't think I've played Gen 2 since, shit, I haven't played Gen 2 in a while. I was going to start it, and then I never got around to it. I think Gen 2 is probably the generation I played the least, and I think if I play it, I'm playing the OG versions. I'm not playing the remakes. That's why I played Blue originally instead of playing like Yellow or Fire Red and Leaf Green. I'm in a weird place with Pokemon. I haven't even decided whether or not I'm going to get the new game at launch like I always do. I think the thing about Pokemon that has always been something that I've been a part of is ever since Generation 3, which was the first generation I bought the day of release. Every generation I've bought as it's come out. So Gen 4 I bought it released, Gen 5 I bought it released, Gen 6 I bought it released, Gen 7, Gen 8, Gen 9. I've bought in every generation that released since Gen 3. Gen 2 was the way I was introduced, so obviously Gen 1 was already out, so there was no way that could happen. But within we're realizing that, I'm wondering maybe it's time I took a legit break from Pokemon in the context of not buying a game as soon as it comes out. Which is weird for me to say because it's Pokemon. But the problem I think Pokemon has, especially for someone who is consistently playing it, is that it's very, very easy to get fatigue of those games. Especially the recent generation games have really much suffered in that respect. Where I've essentially had less and less interest in, like even Scarlet and Violet. I still have a good amount of hours in Scarlet and Violet, but that was mainly for things that had nothing to do with like the main game. The main game of Scarlet and Violet doesn't do anything for me. My love of Scarlet and Violet came partially from shiny hunting. Shiny hunting was like the big thing for me, and when I think about it in that context, I'm like, well, damn. At least with Gen 8, I did the raid battles. I played the DLC for Gen 8. I didn't do that for Gen 9. And I'm thinking maybe I need to take a legit break from the mainline series. Which is a weird thing to acknowledge, but I think that's where I'm at. Sometimes you gotta rotate between IPs. Like, I will say these last 5 years, I've gotten really into other games that I never had a chance to touch. I very much give the 3DS specifically, and a little bit of thanks to the Wii U, for me trying a bunch of new titles. And I think I'm okay with that. Not gonna lie, Genshin is worth next year. the DLC drops, and S2 is 2.5 years late on 2027. One good thing about Scarlet is the Ruinous Cortex and Arven's plot. If Sword and Shield had a third version instead of DLC, I don't know if I would have bought a third version. I'm fine with it having DLC. Don't get it twisted. I think DLC was fine. I just don't know if I don't know. Sometimes you think you just gotta take that breaks from IPs. I think Gen 10 is gonna really have to work its ass off to get me to be interested. And even then, I might still wait until after it comes out before I care. I think that's where Pokemon's gonna lean in for me this year. I think they're gonna I'm gonna have to make them work for it because Gen 9 never really clicked with me, but there were aspects of Gen 9 I liked. Because I will still say the one thing I really hate about Pokemon is that it does not acknowledge itself as an RPG, nor does it take advantage of the aspects of it that can make it a cool RPG and gets kind of stuck. Because even with this next Pokemon Day, I don't see them announcing anything interesting other than Generation 10. Like people are like, what about another spin-off game? Unless you were the only things they'll probably do is announce probably the GameCube NSO. So like Gale of Darkness and Coliseum will come to Nintendo Switch Online, which fine, I'm cool with that. That should have happened a while ago, but fine, whatever. And what else? You have another spin-off game coming out in like in March, so I don't see them announcing anything else new. And they've kind of let certain aspects of itself go. Like we don't get Rangers anymore. Unless you're going to announce a new mystery dungeon, which I know fans would be excited about, but I'm just like, yeah. I don't see much other than that. Because if Generation 10 is coming, they're definitely not about to go through the extra effort and do anything to undercut that. So it's probably just going to be Gen 10, and I'm just like, And then if the leaks are right, which a lot of people think they are, we already know the names of the games. What is it? Wind and Waves, I think is what the leaked names are for it. And I'm just kind of like, It's not overly exciting. And then I guess the anime will eventually change again. It won't be Horizons anymore. Turn into something else this year, which means whatever adventure's going on with Ligo and Roy should be over this year too. And we're back into the cycle again, which, I think there's just a fatigue I'm going through with it. And since Gen 10 is the 30 years, it will be a celebration gen like Dominant Pro and Alola. And not gonna lie, I hope Gen 11 gives us a master reboot for 20, 30 years. Finally putting together the washing machine. What do you mean? The Dolly's done. The anime's been doing its own thing, so that won't really be the case. You say that, but there's still been some aspects. The anime is still influenced by the games to some degree. Like when Gen 8 was out, we still got references to Gen 8, even if the generation wasn't Gen 8 specific. So I imagine the same thing goes for Gen 10. Gen 9 did the same thing. We didn't get a Paldean region, but we got a lot of references to Paldea. Pokemon Black or White, you're wildin'. The anime is alright, it's just been dragging a bit, but alas, yeah. But I don't really want to hang in that too much. I do want to talk about the future of gaming a little bit while I'm still here. Because we got this I guess that's something that we could bring up actually. Ebony and Ivory actually would be a hard ass name. I fuck with that actually a lot. I have a question for you guys. The question I have is whether or not there's been rumors that the PlayStation 6 is supposed to be a hybrid system, essentially being its own variation of the Switch. If that is the case, do you think the new norm for game consoles is just to be hybrids? And if that is the case, are you okay with that being such a future? Because I'm very conflicted. If PS6 turns out to be a hybrid like Switch, but doesn't offer me anything different, I'm gonna wonder what the fuck is the point. Because there's been a lot of rumors that the PlayStation 6 is going to be a hybrid system like the Switch or like the Steam Deck, but with a console. I I don't know if I want everybody to do that because it will no longer be interesting. I also don't expect Sony to do it and be affordable. That's the other problem. Sony has always prided itself on being a high-end console manufacturer. They've pretty much won the graphics race since the PS fucking 3. And and with that being stated, they've always pushed for high fidelity. Well, pushing for high fidelity in the hybrid space essentially means you're pushing for like a $1,200 system. And I don't think they're that wild to go that high. They might go up to $1,000, but I don't see them going up to $1,200. And if they go up that point, depending on whether or not RAM prices go up or down in the near future, is that really a worthwhile investment? Because like right now, to give context, I own every modern system except for like a Steam Deck at this point. I own a PlayStation 4, a PlayStation 5, an Xbox Series X, a Nintendo Switch 2. The only thing I don't have is a Steam Deck or whatever the Steam box might be. And I'm sitting here wondering, at that point, if they all become hybrids. I mean, Xbox has pretty much killed itself out of the market. Most people don't really acknowledge it in the same way that they're probably going to. Because who gives a shit? Who gives a shit, bro? Xbox hasn't cared about making proper gaming. Well, I won't say that. Xbox doesn't care about being a console leader in years. At this point, it's probably been over a decade now that I think about it. Xbox still has games made by other studios. The video I made on Xbox last year kind of proved my issue with Xbox. Xbox has been trash almost since its inception. People just don't like to acknowledge it because if you acknowledge that Xbox is trash, you have to then acknowledge that the gaming IP or the gaming giant you invested your time and money into wasted your fucking time and money. And nobody wants to do that shit. No one wants to acknowledge that, oh, fuck, did I bet on the wrong horse? The answer is emphatically, yes, you did. But if we acknowledge that, then you then have to come to terms with, did I just waste my money for over a decade? Yes, you did. Hence why a lot of Xbox fans have been going through a lot of copium as of lately. Your console is trash. It's been trash, and it hasn't done anything to really negate the argument that it's trash. PlayStation, on the other hand, has become a market leader partially just because it gets everything. PlayStation, to me, has not really done anything worthy of game-changing in years. The last game I think that really had that kind of stamp of quality on it was probably the original Last of Us. And it was more so on a narrative level than it was on a gameplay level, but you could give them credit on a narrative level. God of War wasn't doing anything interesting. Horizon was closer, but Horizon wasn't doing anything too crazy. The thing that helped Horizon a lot was its gameplay loop. Fuck that game's plot. That plot does nothing. Ratchet and Clank, when people talk about Rift Apart, it's mainly just a graphical showcase and who gives a fuck. Astrobot isn't anything groundbreaking. It's a good game, but it's not anything groundbreaking. PlayStation hasn't ever really set the tone for anything. It kind of created a formula that works for it and works for a decent number of gamers and just kind of ran off of that. But as a lot of people have been talking about in recent years, the indie scene has slowly but surely, with Expedition 33 being a prime example, fucking knew how to take over the industry and change the game. So now you ain't gotta be a high-end fucking developer to make some quality content. Now you just gotta have the money and the time to put in to show you off your greatness. As long as you're willing to do that, then hey, we're Gucci. But in acknowledging that, then the question then becomes, well, then what the fuck do I specifically need a PlayStation for? Like, are there PlayStation IPs people are looking out for? GTA 6, it depends. I honestly, GTA 6 means nothing to me at this point. I don't think it's ever really meant. Grand Theft Auto's hype died for me a while ago. PlayStation's like the restaurant that's still serving 2013 burger as if it was new because they change one ingredient every 6 months. instead of stacking them to create new flavors. Nah, that's an interesting. I wouldn't go directly against it. Actually, that's not a bad analogy. I'll let you keep that one, buddy. That was nice. That was pretty good. Um, but yeah, I genuinely am just kind of like I don't know. I think partially thinks that it's just a problem that you have a company who has games and the thing you aren't really excited about a lot of them. Like Wolverine conceptually might be very very cool, but I'm afraid it's just gonna fall into the same line that like Batman and Spider Man fell into. And if it does, it's gonna be a very uninteresting experience. Now, Insomniac, God praise them because they definitely been carrying the PlayStation on its fucking back. I don't give a fuck what anyone tells you. Insomniac is the MVP of Sony currently. Until proven otherwise, and it won't be for another generation if it comes up, Insomniac has been carrying Sony on its fucking back. This is like their fourth or fifth game on the console between Ratchet and Clank, the Spider-Man games. Like, they put out what, three Spider-Man games and Ratchet and Clank and this game. Bro, they are carrying the console on their fucking back. Somebody get them something to drink. They are obviously tired from doing all this heavy fucking lifting. You've only gotten one God of War. You've only gotten one Horizon, which although I'm okay with because I think those titles don't need to fucking take up the entire catalog. I know that's not how Sony operates. The way Sony usually operates is it gives you like 3 games or at least 2 games in a generation and then jumps into another generation and maybe give you 1 or 2 more games and then that IP dies and then we get new IPs. The problem is Sony isn't creating new IPs as much as they're getting rid of old ones. So we're losing more than we're gaining. So when we get down to it, our only real successful IP from this later generation has really just been the Ghost Stuff series, right? The Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Yote, right? Because fucking Infamous is dead, Killzone is dead, Heavenly Sword has been dead, fucking Knack is dead. What else? The only thing that's carried over was Uncharted is dead. What else? What do you even have that's left? There we go. Jak and Daxter dead. Ratchet is the only one that's still alive, and then Sly Cooper. The big three for Sony was Horizon. It's probably Horizon, Last of Us, and probably God of War. Horizon, Last of Us, and God of War. And honestly, I think Last of Us is dead. Because what the fuck are you about to go with? Now, the reason why I think that is because the next game that they're working on isn't even a Last of Us game. It's a whole new IP. And we already know they killed out the multiplayer mode for Last of Us 2. So, Last of Us, as of right now, is going to be dead. And Last of Us has been dead since 2019 is when Last of Us 2 came out. Was 2019, right? So yeah, it's been what, 7 years since you got a Last of Us game? Horizon and God of War really hasn't been that long. It's probably been like 3 or 4 years for those two. If it is, it's not getting it for another like 5 or 6 years. Oh, Spyro isn't really owned by Sony anymore. I think Activision owns Spyro, so that's different. But yeah, Sony's pretty much killed all of its IPs. It doesn't care about its IPs anymore. It always rotates its IPs out. So, and as I said, we've been losing IPs more than we've been gaining. What is a new IP we gained in this generation? Actually, no. Answer that question. What is a new Sony IP we gained during this generation? Because God of War was from PS4, Horizon was from PS4, Last of Us was from PS3, Astrobot was from PS4, Ghost of Tsushima was from PS4. We have not got a new IP from Sony this gen. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking right now, we have not got a new IP from it. Well, I'm not counting Gravity Rush. We haven't gotten a Gravity Rush game since PlayStation 4, right? What is the new IP we've gotten from Sony from on the PS5? I can't think of a goddamn thing actually. Yeah. Hold on. Horizon, Spider Man. Spider Man was from PlayStation 4. Damn. Nah. No new IPs. You got no new IPs. Well, ones that actually. Well, no, because Helldivers I think is from PS4 originally. The first one is anyway. What else? No, I think that's it. Oh yeah, definitely is mid. PlayStation get eras have gotten worse. The peak PlayStation will always be the PS2. The PS2 was peak PlayStation. It dropped off a little bit with PS3. It dropped off a little bit more with PS4, and it dropped off even more with five. It hasn't been one of those like you start up here and then you drop. It's been like eh, 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 eh. Oh shit! Like it's been one of those. Yeah, we don't count Concord. That's like counting Redfall. We don't talk about that either. Kind of the same way we don't talk about Dragon Drive, but at least that game was a budget game, but still. Yeah, we haven't gotten any new IPs from Sony this gen that actually like are mainstays. And they were smart, they would play around with some of their older IPs that they used to work with. Give us a new Killzone, but you can't because the team that works on Killzone works on the Ghost of Tsushima games, which I believe is Sucker Punch, right? I think they work on Ghost of Tsushima. I think it's the same problem with Infamous. Infamous is also worked on by the same studio, so you can't get a new Infamous game if you're getting a new Ghost of game. Insomniac's in a similar position where you have to get a new Ratchet, but that means you also can't get a new Spider-Man. Although they've handled that a lot better. I mean, if all the industry does remakes, how come IPs never get the chance to exist? Because they're more of a risk now. Making a new IP is more risky than just lying on your morals and doing the same old shit that you know sells. A company taking a chance would imply that they were willing, not only willing to risk the time, but risk the money on a game that may not make it back. Which is why certain companies do it like as a double A title first, and then if it proves itself, it'll become a triple A title, which is kind of what a decent number of Nintendo IPs were. Like Fire Emblem was not a triple A title. Fire Emblem was a double A title that has slowly grown into a triple A title because now it's become a mainstay. Pikmin is in a similar position. It was a double A title that has slowly grown into a triple A title. Slowly. I wouldn't say it's fully triple A, but it's in that realm now. Even Donkey Kong, they took a chance on Donkey Kong to a degree because DK has an incredibly all over the road history, right? Donkey Kong went from its rare games to what was it, Jungle Beat and Donkey Konga and Donkey Kong N64. And then you had the games done by Retro, but that also meant you didn't have any Metroid games, and then you got Metroid games, and you didn't see Donkey Kong for a while. You gotta remember, up until Bonanza, the last DK game we had gotten was fucking Tropical Freeze on the Wii U, which I remember correctly is a 2014 game. That means DK hadn't had a new mainline game since for a decade, if I remember correctly, because Donkey Kong Bonanza came out in 2025, so it had been a little bit over 10 years, and like 11 years. Metroid goes through the same fucking problem where we didn't get a Metroid game for years, and then all of a sudden, here comes Dread. Here comes the remake of Samus Returns on the 3DS. Here comes Prime 4. And now Metroid has a consistent line of games. And that's great. Question is, what's Retro going to be working on now? Now that Metroid's out, are they going to go back to DK? Are they going to get to do a new IP? What? We've been sitting here wondering what Monolith Soft has been up to because Monolith Soft's in a similar position. Monolith Soft went from a company that no one, that we kind of fuck with, to then people started really fucking with them. And it was just because of the goddamn Wii, actually. The Wii and Xenoblade Chronicles 1. That game came out, and it was like, holy shit. Then we got Xenoblade Chronicles X. Then we got Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And then we got Xenoblade Chronicles 3. And that game's only, what, a couple years old? Like 2 years old? Well, 3 now, since it's 2026. Because I'm pretty sure Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was 2023. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. So now we're sitting here wondering, when's the next Xeno game? Because we want to know, I want to know what game we're playing. This nigga needs to end the remake boom, and we gotta stop adhering to nostalgia this much in the front. 2020, 2030 onwards should be daring people to make something innovative. Can't wait for them to do another Xeno game, and the people out here are gonna say, "Where's a new IP from Monolith Soft?" Listen, Monolith Soft has proven themselves as a developer. I think people would just be excited to see a game from them at all. It doesn't even matter. The Xenoblade, the only reason why I kind of wanted to be a different game than Xenoblade, because I felt like Xenoblade 3 did the most they could with that battle system, and I'm kind of like, you know what? If you wanted to try something different, go for it. And I think Monolith Soft can do it. I have the confidence in them to believe that they can do it. They have the developing chops for greatness. They've seen some art, recruitment, and I think it's for a new game that's not Xeno. And that's fine. I'll give them a chance to work on something different. Besides, Microsoft is also a support studio. They always help with other stuff anyway, so it could be a combination of different things. Also, it is 2 hours in, boys and girls, and unfortunately, I have work obligations tomorrow. So I must bid you farewell, unfortunately. But I appreciate the support and the love. I appreciate the time you've spent with me in these last 2 hours. We've accomplished a lot. The clothes have been dried. The dolly has been built. The room is clean again. And tomorrow we have a state of play. And we love to play. Here, join Cage String Guys. Oh, is he big? Because, yeah, it's Wednesday. He's probably playing Persona. But tomorrow, I believe, since the state of play's like around 5 or so, I might be able to when I get home. So I'm going to try. My father was a subscriber and a troll. Man, Heath Ledger. R.I.P. Heath Ledger. Bro almighty. But no, since I think, if someone correct me, but I believe the state of play is either 5 or 6 Eastern Standard Time. If it is, I'm going to attempt, aka attempt, to get here in time to do that live reaction, because I didn't do it for the partner direct. I don't really regret it, but 60 minutes of state of play, if you fuck this up and it's not nothing interesting and it's a bunch of VR 2 bullshit, I'm crashing out. And I asked why he never sends me super chats. And he can't stand the sight of me. Put state of trash in the description so to see if something funny happens. Oh no, may your hobby your guiding key. Fuck you, typeset. You get me with that every time. Anywho, though, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. We got some more stuff done on some productive Wednesday type shit. I will be back Friday with your boy The Chornick. Well, actually, I'll be back tomorrow to do state of play reaction, but then I'll be back on Friday to do to do Fire Emblem Shadows of Valentia. Fire Emblem Echo, Shadows of Valentia with Chornick on Friday, and then more Trials in the Sky, Chapter 1 on Saturday. But with that being said, lots of gameplay to win, and I will see you all later. Peace. So, why so? Subscriptions.